We're doing one of the go-to content creator videos, a tier list. However, I think I'm doing one of the more interesting tier lists people have done. Uh, I'm doing a tier list based on the overall design of the character, like how they play, the moves they have, their goal, play style, how they function, you know, overall, and comparing it. And the tier list is based off how they've played in previous iterations, right? So we're going to start off with MK1. I think it's the best game to start off with, because I actually think there are some really well-designed characters, and in some cases, it's the best design I think the character has had thus far. The tier lists we got are, or the tiers, sorry, the tiers we got are the best design so far. Right below that, we got one of their best designs, so not necessarily the best design they've had, but one of their better designs for sure. And then we got could be better, it's so-so. It's definitely representative of the character, I feel, but they've had definitely better iterations in the past. And then below that, we have only mains will play. So, character really doesn't play that well, doesn't really play how well they've played in the past, but if you main the character, you'll play them. And then at the bottom tier, we have, well, why did NRS do this? Shout out Titanium Tigers. Alright. So, I think everything is organized. Yeah, I think we have all the... Oh wait, no. Let me move some of the... Is that all of them? Alright. Yeah. Yeah. Oh wait, no, it's raining. Alright, I think that's all. Alright, let's get started. We'll start off with Ashra. And so I think, actually, I'll say off rip, for all of the characters that were brought back from the 3D era, so the Deception, Armageddon characters, were any of these characters introduced in Deadly Alliance? I don't think so. I could be wrong, though. So I think for Ashra, I actually think I'm perfectly comfortable putting her up here, because I actually really like her design in the game with the dark and light stances, even though it's not, no one ever really uses it, like, fully. I don't really play this character, but I like the design overall. Long normals, I like her specials. She seems pretty cool. Baraka. I'm tempted to put him in either one of these, honestly. He's kind of cool in this game. It's one of his better designs, for sure. You could maybe argue MK11 was a little better, because he had a more faithful, or a more legacy style, like chop chop move, which it got like super big damage too, so like it wasn't even a bad move, it was actually really good. So maybe that, but like his movement was also like the absolute fucking worst in the game. But I don't know if I hold that against the design necessarily. Although I will say he is very cool in this game, so I don't know if I'd put him here. But I do think 11 was really, really good, so, as well. He had a couple fun variations too, a couple fun moves you could play around with. And then I don't know how he played in MK9, actually. I'd have to ask Max. I recently started playing with a MK9 Pro from back in the day. GG, or what was the fucking... I forget the name of the team. The team that, like, Dizzy and PL were a part of. He was part of that. His name was Max, and he played Baraka. He was actually pretty good. A couple matches I found of him, he fucking won, so he was playing against, like, Sonya and shit, so... Yeah, no, he was solid. But I'd have to ask him if he thinks this is Baraka's best design. So, but for now, I'll put him there. Geras, I'm perfectly comfortable putting that boy up there. Definitely, I think his best design. He was sick in 11, don't get me wrong. I think they already had, like, a really great base to start with from 11, but I think they just pulled the best aspects of each of his different variations and all of his different moves. They made a really well-rounded Geras, and then all of his different time moves. I wish he could still play with the clock. Can he? I feel like he can't he? I could be wrong. Can he still play with the time on the clock? Because if so, that's still, like, one of the coolest mechanics ever. I know he could do it in 11, it was a move he could have. but I think he can still do it in this game. I just never see anybody do it. But yeah, I think they just really nailed pulling like every variation and getting like all his moves. He feels like the most rounded version you could pull from 11, you know? So yeah, Geras is definitely up there. Havik, despite how brain dead he plays, kinda, or after they buff the shit out of him, I think he is, like, I don't know how he played again, really, in Deception and Armageddon, but yeah, I think his design is cool in this game. I think the tether mechanic is really, really cool. How he can tether you and then snap his neck, I thought that was really cool and get a free combo. That's neat. And then I wish he could actually do more with the tether, maybe like pull it in, like pull you in for like a mix-up. Like he pulls you in and it gets off you, but it's like plus like 9 or some shit, so he gets like a strike throw mix off of it instead of just like snapping his neck. I think that'd be cool if they added a little more to it. See what I mean? Like, I like when characters are designed around certain moves and have like an identity to them. And so that's why I'm doing this tier list, is because I think actually there are a bunch of cool cases in this game of characters that have really cool designs. And so I just wanted to go over it. And Havik is one of them. He has a cool design, but like, then they buffed him to shit and just gave him the fucking brain dead ass low, so. But still definitely his best design, right? The last game he was in, of course, was Armageddon. Next character, my boy Johnny. I'm very tempted to actually put him up here, but I think I'm gonna put him here for now. I might change my mind. I think the hype mechanic is really, really cool. And he has most of his iconic moves. You know, he has Dizzy's knee back, right? He has back 3. You know, his 2-on-2 launches again like it did in MK9. So he has a lot of legacy to him too, which is why I'm honestly really tempted to put him here. The only reason I'm not putting him up here is he doesn't have his fireballs anymore, which I think is kind of lame. But like, it's still such a cool design anyway. I'm still so tempted to put it up here. You know what I mean? Johnny is so sick in this game. He was the first character I played. Besides Lou, because I played him in the beta. When I first started the game, of course, I'm a Scorpion main, but on release, I was not playing this dog shit character, bro. So I picked up Johnny when the game came out. I picked up Johnny and Lou were my characters, and I think they're both sick in this game. Speaking of sick characters, definitely his best design so far, hands down. I think even if you don't like playing against this shit, you can't argue it's a sick design for the character, right? Definitely his coolest design he's had so far. And he's had some cool designs. In MKX he was sick, and in MK9 he was kind of cool. So this is a character who's had some cool designs in the past, but even still I think this is his best design, like by far. Such a sick character, man. Like, I haven't played him, but like, I'm so tempted to try to pick him up because he's so cool. I don't know what else to say. He's such a sick character. Making him look at like a puppet character was genius. And then you play 2 characters at once, basically. So cool. So cool. Kitana, definitely one of her better designs. She's sick in this game. I love the way her fans work. Her fans are so interesting with the curves and the different, like, zones and lanes of the screen you cut off when you use them, and then how they can launch depending on if you EX them or if you use her, the one that essentially acts more as her fan lift. It's interesting. They basically made her fan lifts integrated into her fans naturally, just like the fans she throws. Now her fans do the fan lift, which I think is kind of cool. So I think it's definitely, I think it's definitely one of her better designs. I could be tempted to, again, these 3 characters so far, these designs are so good, you could argue, I could hear arguments for up here, but I'm gonna stick down here just because these are characters who have had some really cool designs in the past. Specifically these 2, I think, have had some really nice designs in the past that it's really hard to actually put them up here. But these are very cool, so definitely want to give them their props. Kung Lao, oof. This character plays. He's gotten better. I will say, it's not the worst. He still is Lao, but he is very far from how he's played in previous iterations. I would say this is definitely the worst Lao. Even though he's like good, like he's brain dead good in the game with Sektor. He's not like amazing, but he's good. But like he's just, it's not really. He doesn't feel like Lao, bro. I don't know. That's why I was like very tempted to put him down here. Li Mei, I guess I have to put her up here, honestly. Again, I think I'm for most of the. Go ahead and even put Nitara up there. Most of the Deception Armageddon characters, Breed Era characters, I think I have to put them up here because they're all actually designed pretty well and have their own identity. Like Nitara is the only high flyer in the game right now, and she is very much built around that. Li Mei's lanterns are kind of cool. I wish they actually had more with it. Like maybe she could do more with it. I know she can explode them now, and they hit overhead now, and they tried to make you do more with it, but I mean, you can still like throw people into them. You can do stuff with them. So Li Mei's kind of cool. She just has stubby buttons. Is her one thing. I wish she had some slightly better normals. But that's about it. Lu, I gotta put Lu right here, bro. I love this design for Lu personally. I love the way his fly kicks works now with the dragon tail, right? The fireball. I think that's a sick change. His low fireball looks sick with the dragons, and then like his bicycle kick looks sick now. I love that his fly kick on EX now just launches, right? So he has a launcher. He never traditionally had just a special move that launched. His air fireballs are kind of cool. Lu's definitely one of his better designs. Definitely not his best though. I think his best still goes to MKX Lu. MKX Lu is a different fucking beast. The creativity and character expression you could have with that character makes it so it, yeah, I can't. I mean, this character has a lot of combo expression too, I think, because that's why I think he's also really sick, because he has some sick combos. But yeah, no, he's no MKX Lu, so I gotta put him there. Mileena. I got, again, MKX Mileena is probably better, so I gotta put her here. But definitely a cool design, not terrible. Definitely better than what we had in 11. I think MK11 would have been here. I don't think it would have been here. It was okay. It was serviceable. But this is definitely much better. Much better. So I think she goes right there. Omni-Man. I'm actually going to hold off on the guest characters for a little bit. I'll get to them later. Quan. Definitely putting my boy Quan up here. Or maybe, shit. Am I putting him? Yeah. I really like this design. I think it's so sick. Even when it first came out and it wasn't super good, I thought it was a kind of sick design, but then as they added the new portals, and he can summon all the different portals, he has the armor portal now, and then he has the he has the overhead, like, full screen move, and he feels more well-rounded now, and I actually just like the design. I think it's a really interesting design for the character. And I think it's honestly one of his best designs so far. I gotta put it up here. I haven't played too much Quan, so I mean it could honestly be here, but for me, I gotta put it here. I think because I've played this, but I haven't played him too much in previous games, right? He was cool in X, but man, there's something about this design I think that just fits. I think it's so sick, and also the visuals of the character, like all the tentacles, the way the portals look, I'm taking that into consideration as well. Visually, how the character looks and everything. Also, that is part of the design, but also gameplay is definitely my main priority here. And so gameplay and visually, this is definitely one of Quan's. I think it's his best design so far, for sure. Raiden could be a little better, though. Raiden could definitely use some work. He's alright. I mean, MKX had a better Raiden. I thought Raiden, honestly, in MK11 was kind of cooler. Could be better, in my opinion. And honestly, I really feel the same way about Rain. Rain's kind of cool. I like his water cancels, his the way his moves looks, he's up here kind of. But I personally really just don't like the mage like thing. Like I don't like the mage wizard look for him. He, you know, like he's supposed to be like a ninja, like Smoke, Sub, and Scorp. You know, they're ninjas. Right? Ermac's design fits, I think. Right? He still has the ninja look to him at least, right? I mean, Ermac still kind of has it, or Rain still kind of has it, but like, I don't like the mage thing, man. I'm sorry. It's just not hitting with me. I'm sorry. Oh, I forgot about Reiko. He's another one of those Armageddon 3D era Deception characters. I don't really know. Again, don't really. I played Deception. Deception was the only 3D era game I played, but I didn't play it like that much. And the characters I played were still like the classic characters, the characters that were in, you know, MK2, MK3, right? So honestly, these characters I never really played when I played Deception. So Kenshi I did though. Kenshi I did play. I thought Kenshi was sick. Of course, he's the only one I didn't include in this list because he's returned in, you know, subsequent games. These characters have only ever been in the 3D games, right? They just came back. So I think for them, definitely their best designs thus far. So Reiko goes up there. Him being a cool command grab character, his stars were the move he had in Deception, so his stars came back. I like the running now, command grab, running out of that, the air command grab as well. So yeah, he's now a very well-rounded, cool command grab character who has a bit of zoning to him, but can get out-zoned because his projectiles now lose, which I think is a cool design. So yeah, no, I think Reiko's very cool now, actually. Even if I knew how he played in Deception, I still think I'd put him up here. I think it's a really cool design. Moving on. I'm actually tempted to put him up here, even though, like, gameplay-wise, he's just kind of ass. And that's why I was, like, putting him here, because he's, like, mid-tier. But no, in terms of design, he's sick. I love the shapeshifter, him being human reptile and then turning into the reptile, right? So you don't get the weird, like, reptile in the ninja suit, right? You don't get that shit like we had in MK9 and MKX. So I think this design is just sick. I think it's one of his best designs. Now, in MKX, he was sick to play. With the, I forget what variation it was. He, like, turned on the, like, green shit and went fucking psycho mode. But that shit was fire. So, definitely not the coolest gameplay-wise, but in terms of the visual identity of the character, this is one of the sickest reptiles, for sure. Warp. I'm very tempted to put him down here, but I think in the current state of the game, when he first came out, he was here, for sure, But now, he's alright. His design is serviceable. It could be better. Now Shang, on the other hand, him being able to morph between he's like young and old Zeku, basically, from Street Fighter V, and it's fucking sick. Sick is designed for him as a character, being able to morph between old and young Shang. And then he gets the different fireballs and everything. And then the coolest shit they added was his buff, where he gets a move from every character and every fucking cameo. That shit is honestly sick as fuck. One of the sickest designs for Shang Tsung. Hands down, his best design so far. I don't know what to say. Like, so sick. I just wish he was, like, slightly better. You know, he's just kind of, like, mid-tier. Like, a lot of people haven't been doing, like, a whole lot of work with him. Even though when I play him, I don't necessarily struggle against him, but I don't find the matchup very difficult. I don't think he has a whole lot. But damn, is the design like so cool. One of his sickest designs and shit. Looking at the next character, I have to put him up there. Shao. I love the axe stance, right? You have the stance with the axe, and then you have it without it, and then you can slam down the axe and go to town smiction, right? I love it. I love it. It's such a cool design, right? And then when he has the axe, he has much better range, much better pokes, footsie tools, right? But once he puts down the axe, right, he gets access to. He still has some really good normals, but he has the smicks, right? He can open you up, and he has so many cool options now. Yeah, one of Shao's, I think, is his best design with the axe stances. I think it's very, very cool. Sindel. This is definitely a very cool Sindel. Definitely more interesting than she was in MK11 for sure. I'm not quite sure how she played in MK. She wasn't in MKX, was she? She was just in MK9. Or was she in MKX? I don't think so. She's not in that. She's not in that. So I guess I could be tempted to honestly put her up here, because she is kind of cool. Shit. She wasn't in MKX. No, I genuinely cannot remember. This is tripping me. Let me see the character select screen. Yeah, she's not in this game. Yeah, I was like fairly certain. But yeah, I guess with that in mind, yeah, I think she honestly belongs up there. I think it's her best design so far. She's sick in this game. I didn't really like how she played at all, and I guess she was kind of cool. She was just brain dead in 11, but yeah, I didn't really like the design. But she was alright, I guess. But I do like this design much better, personally, so I think I will put it up there. Smoke. Only because I think Triborg Smoke had better gameplay that was more legacy, right? With the rope spear and everything, right? This is like a human Smoke. So he plays like a new Smoke, kinda. I don't know if it's his best design, but it's definitely a cool design. I think I'm putting it here. Ooh, sub. Honestly, I was gonna put him here, but honestly, sub, he just could be better. Now, I mean, he still definitely has his identity, you know, he has the ice clone, even though it's ass, right? And he has a bunch of freeze moves. You know, he has his slide, he has a couple variations of the slide. They really committed to the overhead thing being his thing from MK11, so they gave him the overhead again. So that, I guess that became part of his identity for some reason. I mean, he did have an overhead as well in MKX. I don't know, did he have an overhead starter in MK9? He might have. So maybe he's always had an overhead starter. He just could be better, he's just kind of ass in this game, you know? Tonya, I think I have to put her there, actually. I think that's a fair place to put Tonya. She was definitely way cooler in X. She's okay, and I guess her design's okay in this game, but, like, yeah, like, no one's really playing Tonya. Like, I think this is a very fair statement. It only mains really play these characters, bro. Cyrax? I guess it's probably one of the... I was gonna put it in could be better, but it's actually probably one of the better designs. Ermac. I have to put Ermac right here, bro. Ermac goes right up here. I think it's one of his best designs. He's so sick. He's so sick. Again, this is a character like Kenshi where he's had some really cool designs in the past, but man, there's something about the way, the visual style and the way this character plays. Yeah, I think it's one of his best designs. I don't know what to say. And then right up there, right next to him, are Noob Saibot, bro. Noob Saibot? Oh, such a cool design for the character. I don't know what to say, man. This is why I wanted to make this list, because I wanted to kind of... Because a lot of people have been, you know, hating on this game, you know, dooming and glooming. Not that it's a bad thing. I definitely think this game is worthy of criticism. I don't think people like Tom Brady or Mike Hollow or Lou Shreets are like that, or what's wrong with the community or some shit. I think they're what the community needs, honestly, is more people critiquing and trying to, you know, giving ideas to make the game genuinely better. I don't think that's a bad thing. But I also think this game is worthy of some praise, which is why I wanted to make this game. Of course, we can critique some things. These characters could definitely... Actually, this character, honestly, is fine. Again, it's just the mage thing that's like a personal gripe, right? Like, I didn't say that, like... I honestly think Cyrax and Sektor being females is like whatever. Like you could be petty and put them down here for that, but like yeah, that's whatever. But like the mage thing, nah, I'm petty. I'm gonna put him down here for that, just for that. Otherwise, he would probably actually be up here. I'm not gonna lie. I do think his MK11 design, I loved it. So I think that was his best one. So moving on, Sektor. Sektor goes. I think Sektor goes right next to Cyrax. Yeah. And then Takeda. Takeda also goes right up here. Takeda could maybe be up here, but I do think his variations in MKX was a little better. They did do a really good job of blending his variations. They kind of left out the Ronin one, but Lasher and what was the other one? Shirai Ryu seem pretty well represented in this character. So I think they did a really good job. He could be up here, but I'm gonna put him here. Takeda's like my secondary main, one of my favorite characters to play. And I think that just leaves the DLC. So let me figure out where I'm gonna put these. So we're gonna do this. Yeah, I think these two. This character for sure. This character on release for sure. Now I honestly just want to put him here because now I feel they could because they just neutered his mix. He still has mix, don't get me wrong, and I still think he's pretty decent. I think they should just buff his damage again on his regular hits. If he gets like a normal hit, he should hit for maybe like just 40% now because they really nerfed his damage. I make him just hit 40% for like. Not meterless maybe, but for a bar he could hit like 40, right? So maybe, I don't know if he can do that already. I don't really play the character. But I feel like his damage, I know his damage got nerfed a few times. I think the command grab damage should say nerfed. But now it should just be, you know, command grab or strike throw and then... Right, and he can also, you know, throw in the overhead off the stance and do stuff like that. He could do the low still and maybe clip you with that and get a combo. So I still think he's cool. And his design's cool too. Yeah, I mean, it's honestly, I mean, I guess all the DLC characters should technically be up here, but, you know what I mean? I do want to rate the design overall. So, for example, I will put this character up here. Because I think this character is designed very well. I think he's balanced. He schmixes you, but it's not overwhelming. He has a couple. His run stance makes sense. Unlike this character's, which I'm putting like here, I think he's like they've done big sword characters before, and I feel like Kotal Khan is a more fun one. Kotal Khan and MK11 I thought was really fun, and I think Kotal and MKX is pretty cool. But I think as a big sword character, I think he was more fun as a big sword character in MK11. Kotal Khan basically being Conan anyway. He has a skin in MK11 that basically makes him look like Conan. And so I think that design, don't get me wrong, this one's cool. I might even put him up here. He's not bad. So I'll put him up here. And I'll put Omni-Man here. Omni-Man could be a little better. If he had, like, some of the stuff that Homelander has, and if Homelander wasn't so Homelander, he would be maybe cooler. Peacemaker is maybe here. But man, this bitch just be doing anti-gravity, 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 anti-gravity.
Cannot throw this man. Okay, again the shadow kick. Oh, we're punished though. Preemptive launch from Nicholas. He's gonna pay. Another torpedo. I feel like when we were seeing that launch earlier on against Ninja with Fox, it was like it was a reaction almost to catch those down threes and things like that. But Nicholas being a lot more preemptive with it. definitely looking for the conversion off that air glaive right there. Even had been fatal blow or something, but no time to reflect on that now. Game 1 is going to go to Ninja Killer, and we are going to waste no time restarting match for Game 2.
Anti-gravity. Like, holy shit, this character is so fucking stupid. Like, I gotta put him down there. Just, I have to, for the fucking meme. When he was actually top tier as shit, holy fuck, he was so brain dead. So yeah, these two characters, I gotta put them down there. I got it. I have to. So yeah, I think overall, when you're looking at the game, I thought we had some really, really cool designs for this game. And I think overall this game is actually quite fun. I don't think it's... I still think MK11 is the most competitive game. It is also the most, like, sterile, you know what I mean? Because it's the most competitive because there's not really much you can do, but I do like the way some of the mechanics work in MK11. I will say this game is probably still more competitive than MKX and MK9, honestly. But it's not without its own issues, for sure. But yeah, I think I'll do maybe another one of these, actually, and work my way down. We'll do maybe MK11 next, and then do MKX, even though I don't have too much knowledge. I'll have to do some research on that game, just a tiny bit. I did play it, don't get me wrong, but I didn't personally play a lot of characters. I only ever really played my main, which was Scorpion, and I dabbled with a couple other characters like Johnny Cage and Jax. There's my MK1 tier list based off characters' designs. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you got any disagreements, if you think Tonya is one of the best designed characters ever, some shit, let me know. Or if you think one of these characters is fucking like a dog shit design, you can let me know. But I think I gave this game it's reasonable props. You know, I think Geras is cool. I think that's fair. I think Kenshi was a really fair pick. I think Quan's a fair pick to put up here. I think Ermac, Noob, Ghostface. I think these are Shao, Shang. I think these are all like really fair picks to put up here in this this tier. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, and hope you guys enjoyed the little video.